Well, welcome to our second ever PEPT pre-event pep talk. Really excited to be doing this, even if this event is maybe not as exciting as other previous events. I know many of you guys, and if you haven't already, shame on you, have probably watched DG Gamer's video covering a little bit of the event. But since it was done a little bit early, I'll go ahead and touch up on it and fill in the blanks where I can. Of course, there's still a little bit we don't know, but I would say that we know quite a bit already, and it's enough for a show. Again, just like last time, this will be a closed mic event. Looks like we don't have any problems so far, so that looks good. Let me make sure that my speakers and my mic is good. Okie doke, so welcome guys. We'll start the show now, and I'll cut off probably the rest of the banter from previously. But it is that time again yet for another Digimon Links event, and by extension, another pre-event pep talk. Again, it's going to be a closed mic event, and we will try to leave questions for the end, but as you come up with them, go ahead and throw them in my direct messages, and then tag them with @mintb. That way I can pin them, and they won't get lost. So those questions, I really want to make sure, like the questions that you really want answered, go into my direct messages, because as people type and talk to each other in the help center here, the chat could get flooded and your question could get lost. Let's see. Feel free to direct message me, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I have like a little bit of notes here that I'm reading off of. Don't mind me. Before we get into things today, I did just want to let you guys know that we have had an update to the Discord, and we now have a brand new Cyber Sleuth room to commemorate the launch of the greatly anticipated Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. In it, you have the opportunity to play as Keisuke Amazawa as you dive into the digital world and investigate the entrails of a crime you didn't commit, with the hopes of proving your innocence. In order to do so, you must join an unlikely band of vigilantes known only as hackers, and pledge yourself to their cause of solving the trouble silently threatening a mysterious universe. So that's just a little synopsis. Took a little bit of what Bandai said, threw in a little bit of my own. I think it's a really cool game. I do actually have it on pre-order. While not many of you guys might know, I do not have a car right now, so I haven't been able to pick up my game. But I hope to play it. I hope to play it. Sell out. I hope to play it soon. I do hope to play it soon. I still have a few other games to get through, like the rest of the DS games. Yeah, my car is dead. Rest in peace, my car. I'm still trying to find a car. Obviously, I'm not super rich, so I gotta keep it in a budget. So it might take me even up to a month to find a car that I can afford. Bicycle. Bicycle. Cool. It is snowing a little bit though, so it can get tricky. Although the weather has been better here. Alright, we're just gonna dive straight into ShineGreymon's stats. I know it has previously been covered, so I don't know, I wanted to make this guy good. Wanted being the operative word here. I want to make him cool, but I'm gonna come clean with you guys. He's pretty average. He's not a bad Digimon. He's not a great Digimon. Is he someone that, you know, you should add to your team? Well, if you like dragons that kind of also look like Gundam, another Bandai franchise, then he might be the guy for you. Otherwise, I would maybe steer clear of him. And that's, again, only if you are completely intending to avoid the next event. But let me break down a little bit of ShineGreymon's stats. Since he is family to what I would call the base or true Greymon family megas, he actually shares the same HP as Black War Greymon and War Greymon and Gaiaomon, who is secretly a Greymon holding ninja or samurai swords, whatever. And they have a base HP of 2,904. They also share a special defense of 4,817, which is kind of average, not my favorite, but if you're going for offense, doesn't matter too much. And a base speed of 149. So that's right about mid-table, pretty average. Fun fact about the base speed 2,904, it does seem to be the standard base HP for many of the plus 4 Mega Digimon, being neither good nor bad, with about roughly 50 or so Digimon currently sporting that exact same HP. The 149 speed is super standard, super mid-table. You will outspeed almost no one except for Alphamon and Grand Locomon and whoever wants to be really slow. But aside from that, you're not gonna really move in front of the top threats like Lord Nightmons, All-Force Vidramons, and things like that. Let's see here. I guess other things about his stats, he does have the highest attack stat out of the Greymon family Megas with the 6,190 base attack. I would put him maybe a little bit behind Gaiaomon, though, even though Gaiaomon has a base of 5,958 attack, because Gaiaomon does again have that dual hit attack, which is it hits twice for 260 if you land both hits, of course. It does take a little bit of the accuracy off, having only a 95 accuracy. With that said, Gaiaomon is my preferred current free-to-play fire attacker. I will make a ShineGreymon because I do think he looks cool. But for just this event and not counting the next event at all, I think he's not someone you need to make. Now, if we talk about the next event, the upcoming event, I'll say he might be worthwhile. Let's talk about what we might see in the upcoming event after this event. So, I'll take the time now to lightly mention that I do believe we'll be getting either ShineGreymon Burst Mode or ShineGreymon Ruin Mode. With Omegamon's Wart D looking very unlikely, but hey, if he's your guy, keep your fingers crossed. We never truly know what Bandai Namco is thinking, and it could be a toss-up. It could happen. We could get Omegamon's Wart D. They could totally pull a wall over us. I'll go ahead and be honest and say that I'm really surprised that they want us to bring Rosemon and Rosemon Burst Mode to what I think will be the ShineGreymon Burst Mode event, who, he's an AoE fire attacker. I don't know where they want us to hide our Rosemons or our Rosemon Burst Modes, because it's an AoE. They're all going to get hit. I don't know why they're wanting us to get extra points from something that is very clearly going to die. I see a lot of people are expecting Burst Mode as well, or considering Burst Mode. Ruin Mode is not in the game currently, DG Gamer is pointing out. I'm wondering if maybe they'll secretly insert him. It just doesn't make sense for Rosemon to have a matchup with ShineGreymon Burst Mode and be a recommended Digimon. It's so weird. On that note, the Rosemon Burst Modes in the Gacha machine, even if you get a +4, remember, you won't be able to give her a resistance upgrade. So unless you are a dedicated whale, I am probably not going to recommend that you pull for that Rosemon. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the stats. ShineGreymon Burst Mode and ShineGreymon Ruin Mode have about the same stats, being the 33,000 HP, speed of 186, so definitely well above average, not the fastest in the game. It's going to be becoming behind things like the future Kentarosmon and I think Lord Nightmon as well. He might be behind Beelzemon. I don't own one, so I don't know off the top of my head. And then the attack stat is going to be somewhere around 6,000 for both ShineGreymon Burst Mode and ShineGreymon Ruin Mode, with them being more or less just clones of each other. ShineGreymon Burst Mode doing a 400 damage AoE, and ShineGreymon Ruin Mode doing a 400 damage AoE again. This skill will then drop your attack by, I forget, let me see here. It'll drop your attack by... Oh my goodness, why can't I find it? It'll drop your attack by some percentage, but it'll only do it for 3 turns. So you 50%, I see. 50%. Nice, nice. Wow. You guys have done your homework. It'll drop it for 50%. But I'm just going to throw this out there. I want you guys to keep this in mind. It's going to drop it for 3 turns, meaning you will likely get your attack stat back to normal once his AP is full again and ready to skill. With that said, I don't think he's a half bad Digimon, and I'm actually probably going to go chase him. If anyone else wants to chase him with me, go team. He's not a must-have for anyone, but if you are moderately interested in AoEs, I think he's definitely one of the best AoE Digimon out there. I will talk a little bit about Omegamon Zord D, even though we probably won't see him. I'm going to mention it anyway. He can Digivolve into Omegamon Alter B. He has that insane speed stat, and he has a very high attack stat as well. His attack stat is just below 7,000. His defenses are about bottom of the barrel, coming in just about at 4,200 for both physical defense and special defense. He actually does have another form, Omegamon Alter B, which you sacrifice about 200 attack for a little bit more livability. You get about 200 more HP, a little bit more in your defenses with a defense of 4,800 and special defense of 4,600, and your special attack stays about the same. Again, you do lose a little bit of speed. Maybe not good, maybe not bad, I don't know. Omegamon Zord D looks like such a cool glass cannon. If you guys want to know more about these guys, I think DG Gamer did a pretty good job in his previous video, so you guys can go ahead and reference his video before this one regarding Omegamon Zord D and Omegamon Alter B. Moving right along here. Let me read the chat just for a moment so I can see what people are up to and about. Man, you guys hit me really hard with that with that 50%. I see Alpha Male saying ShineGreymon Thug Mode. Is that what that is? Let's see. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything really dedicated whale. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything really important that you guys are saying to me, because I am looking at two screens, so to say. Can we talk about Metal as the boss? No. DG Gamer is such a boss. Can you guys throw up a thumb if you think DG Gamer is the man? I'm gonna throw a thumb up right now. Boom. Yeah, see, we love you. We need more thumbs than that, team. More thumbs. Okay, thank you. See, DG Gamer. Oh, look, Prince with the double thumbs. Creative. Sans throws up an Alphamon. Wow, very nice, guys. See, so I think it's important to note that we as the fans, I think we love all of our mods and our caretakers more or less in our little Discord community. I think DG Gamer is a great head and a fantastic role model. Without him, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be wanting to share what I know and help the community as well. While Metal Stormer is quite a bit less known, he or she, I think it's a he, does so much for the Discord, and you guys don't even know. So a lot of the organizational things and the communication between the staff is done very much by Metal Stormer. And then, of course, I'll give a shout out to our current mods that we have in the room right now, and our admin. We have Furin, and then in parentheses it says Kina. I don't know what to call you, so I just say both whenever I see your name. Mikkel's throwing out like a bicep. I like that. That's gonna be the new thing. I'm gonna say the bicep things later. Aniquilator Bloody. I think I botched that. A lot of people just call him Annie for short. He's here and he's very vocal as well. I think he's designed some of our bots, so that's really cool. Shitani is very popular. She is very popular, but she's also very active in the help center and does a lot of co-op and tries to bring up the rear on that. And York, I haven't met York personally, but you know what? If they're part of the mod team, they can't be too bad. Moving back into current events and current topics, because I don't want to make this video painful for people to listen to later. Is this ShineGreymon event right for you? If you do intend to play the following event for either Burst Mode, Ruin Mode, or Zord D, and you want to give yourself as much of an advantage as possible, I do actually recommend playing the upcoming event for a minimum of 21 fragments. Here's why. We have seen in previous events like Gallantmon Crimson Mode and Omegamon Zwart where they grant bonus points to those individuals who are using Gallantmon and or Black War Greymon or Metal Garurumon Black. So if you want bonus points and you want a bonus point Digimon for the upcoming event, or the event after this, should I say, I would say it's worthwhile to get a C chip and go ahead and grind out 21 fragments, so that way you have the bonus fragments for the next event. With that said, it is completely and entirely possible to skip this event and still play the upcoming event. I keep on saying upcoming. And still play the next event for either ShineGreymon Burst Mode, ShineGreymon Ruin Mode, or Omegamon Zwart D. As we've seen previously, they always give the predecessor fragments with the Super Ultimate Digimon fragments. So for Gallantmon Crimson Mode, they also rewarded you with the appropriate amount of Gallantmon fragments to then make your, +4 21 fragment or so Gallantmon Crimson Mode. So they do provide you with that. So that's really nice. Let's see here. Oh, aside from that, you'll also be able to have the opportunity to purchase those event damage up chips from the current exchange. I heard a little bit of a speaker come on. Let's go ahead and investigate that. Oh, okay, it looks like that just went off. That was different. Someone says they're 1000% skipping ShineGreymon. They just want fodder. But back to what I was saying earlier, if you do participate in this current event, you'll also get bites that will allow you to then buy the event damage up chips for the next event coming up after this. But again, you can skip this event and still participate in that either Burst Mode, Ruin Mode, or Omegamon Zwart D event. What I would personally recommend, if you do want to do those events anyway, or if any of those Digimon interest you, I would just grab a C chip, go ahead and burn up 100 Digistones, or if you get a B chip or an A chip, whatever, and play for ShineGreymon. Because I think, at the moment, he's appears to be a better choice than bringing Rosemon. ShineGreymon Burst Mode is a Fire Digimon, so it'll be weak or neutral to water or electric when that comes, and then Dark Digimon stuff for Omegamon Zwart D or ShineGreymon Ruin Mode. Again, if I haven't mentioned already, the event is going to be a Bite Exchange event featuring only a single Mega Digimon's fragments, being the ShineGreymon fragments. It will most likely lead into a ranking point event for one of its other Digivolved forms. The bonus chip, or the chip bonuses for this event will be Chip C giving you an extra 1, Chip B giving you extra 3, and Chip A giving you 6. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, so giving you 6 additional drops for Chip A, 3 additional drops for Chip B, and 1 additional drop for Chip C. So, with that said, should you get a chip, if you really, really want either ShineGreymon Burst Mode, ShineGreymon Ruin Mode, or Omegamon Zwart D, I recommend you chipping for this event as well, and getting a Mega started, and that will definitely lessen your grind in the future, and it will give you a bonus point Digimon for the ranking event when that rolls around next week. Do you have to, though? No. You don't have to, and you can probably still participate in that future event. Let's see. What else do I have here? There will be a co-op leader bonus for the following event, but that's not too big of a deal. That's nothing new, and we know that already, more or less. Fracture summoning as a bonus. That's cool. I don't know. This Rosemon and Rosemon Burst Mode Gotcha Machine, it's got me feeling so many strange feelings. Even if I was a whale, I don't know if I'd dip my hand into that. It just doesn't make sense right now. Who is this event for? Okay, so who is this event for is actually a pretty big deal to me. So I definitely want you guys to listen very carefully. This is probably the section I worked most on for this pep talk. And here's why. I know many of you are probably still working on making your Dynasmon from the previous event. There are many rookies that Dynasmon shares shares with ShineGreymon, and those are Falcomon, Beamon, Patamon, and Gabumon. I think Gabumon's DNA is a little bit trickier to check, but with Falcomon, Beamon, and Patamon, you have a very easy way to check their DNA. What you would do is you would take either Falcomon, Beamon, or Patamon, and you would digivolve them to Magna Angemon. You would then use the long press method while sort of faking that you're going to digivolve, even though you won't, and press on Lord Nightmon. If Lord Nightmon reveals Fist of Athena, then that is DNA 2, and then she should have Dragon's Roar. If when you press on Lord Nightmon, it reveals Spiral Masquerade, then that is DNA 1. And that Dynasmon will have, the name skips me. I think it's Breath of Wyvern, if that rings any bells. So that's how you can check their DNA, and that's one way you can use these fragments from this event. Because Magna Angemon can then, after you check the DNA, if you find the one that you like, if you find that Fist of Athena one that will give you Dragon's Roar, you can then digivolve your Magna Angemon into a ShineGreymon and then degenerate it back and then make it into a Dynasmon, or make it into a bunch of ShineGreymons. ShineGreymon +1, +2, +3 as well. And then you can make it into Dynasmon for that final +4. So I think for those of you who have not finished making your Dynasmon and or have not found a host body, that sounds bad, a host, I highly recommend using either Falcomon, Beamon, or Patamon, or even Gabumon. I personally would not use Beamon. I'm saving my Beamons for other things as I get them. So Falcomon or Patamon would be amazing for you to check their DNA using this event, using these ShineGreymon fragments. And then you can make yourself that really awesome Dynasmon +4 with that dual neutral hit, null hit, giving you HP back. This event is actually, it's pretty cool. There's so much to it. I have so much on who this event is for. It's really for new players. This event. This event is Bandai Namco's love letter to new players. So new players out there listening to this, either directly in Discord, or if you're catching me a little bit after and you're listening to it on YouTube, new players, listen up. You have 2 whole weeks to get more than 21 fragments. You might even be able to get 74 fragments if you're dedicated. This can be your first +4. Or if you don't want to go that far, this could be your first +3 that maybe you'll turn into something later. Don't skip this event if you're a new player. Do not. You'll be really sorry about it later. I understand that ShineGreymon might not be your favorite Digimon. I understand that he might not be the best Digimon in the world. I think he's pretty cool, but that's called an opinion. In any case, this event will help you get your first +4. Please do not skip. Metal Stormer is getting some Orochimaru vibes from me. Am I being mean? Ugh. ShineGreymon. Prince is asking a quick question. It just caught my eye because it was really interesting. Prince is asking, should we pull for new players? If you're a new player, absolutely pull a chip for this event. Pull a chip for this event. Don't skip it. Don't skip it. Smouse is pointing out that ShineGreymon is actually decent for killing Abyss Digimon too. Since he is a bright type, you can then give him that dark resist as a resistance upgrade, and he'll still have a fire damage attack. I have seen the ShineGreymon mutant be very deadly in PvP. I know one of our members here, I think his name is Yvonne Wolf, has a very beautiful ShineGreymon mutant with both the light and the dark resist, no weaknesses, with that Geo Grey Sword fire damage, and that Comet Hammer 5 nature damage is just so deadly, such a great Digimon. if you haven't had a chance to get that mutant, you can definitely get this one and still put it to good work in PvP. That's one thing that ShineGreymon does that maybe Gaialmon doesn't quite do yet. And those, so far, I feel like are more or less fire attacker options for single targets that we have as free-to-play. You know, there's Genkumon or Genkomon and other things like that. I'm not really counting them. There's the +4 War Greymon from, you know, the early banner. I'm not counting that. For free-to-play players, if you don't have Gaialmon, ShineGreymon is your next fire attacker option, and he is a very, very good dark counter. So props to Smouse for pointing that out. You guys have 2 weeks. I feel like a broken record. I'm being a dead horse here. New players, you have 2 weeks to do this event. That's super long. Get a chip. If you don't have a +4 right now, I need to see you with a +4 by the end of this event. I need to see it. And even more exciting, if you somehow manage to make a ShineGreymon +4 on your way to next event, you might even be able to participate in the ShineGreymon Burst Mode, ShineGreymon Ruin Mode, or perhaps the elusive Omegamon Zwart D event. You don't know. GG Gamer is saying that this banner sucks. This banner isn't too exciting. So getting back to my little rant about this event is for new players. I don't mean to say that it's not for more experienced players. More experienced players, you can definitely play it. And while I don't consider myself experienced in any way, shape, or form, I'll definitely be participating in this event. Whoa, something just came up. I think it's Dark Wrath, my man. Okay, perfect. He muted it. He knows what's up. Basically, any +4 Digimon is your gateway to another world, where you no longer need to be carried, and aside from you being able to contribute damage, you'll definitely die less in higher tier content. Even if your signature skill is resisted, and you don't have an adequate legacy skill, just surviving through the multiple waves of enemies is a huge contribution to your team. Every wave you survive, your team gets AP back. So even if ShineGreymon isn't going to be right for every event, or isn't, you know, the man, ShineGreymon +4, if you're a new player, he'd be a blessing. He will help you so much. Moving on to event execution, we'll talk a little bit about damage types. Initially, my assumption was that he would be weak to dark damage. I dug up some info about ShineGreymon in Japan, and you know, their ShineGreymon was weak to dark. However, with the introduction of this new banner, I'm a little bit confused and I'm a little bit taken back. We are getting Rosemon and Rosemon Burst, which means perhaps our ShineGreymon will be weak to nature. Then again, he might come to us in the more recent and more difficult style, where maybe he just takes neutral damage from both. Neutral to dark and nature. I see that that's like a popular vote down there. Either way, he's a bright Digimon, so I'm going to go ahead and put my neck out there. I'm going to say I am almost positive that for the intense or the harder tier room, the insane, whatever room they have available for us, those waves will be made up of Superstarmon and Tinlinmon. Tinlinmon or Kirinmon being the ultimate pre-evo to Slapemon or Kentarosmon, and Superstarmon being, I think you guys know who Superstarmon is. Superstarmon does a bright damage move, and Tinlinmon is actually uniquely fast for an ultimate and does a nature damage move. So be prepared to counter that and just be prepared to kill those. Even if the boss is only weak to dark or only weak to nature, the AoE Digimon of either dark or nature are still good here. So maybe you made a Dynasmon AoE with Wyvern's Breath, and it, you know, does that. I think it's like 270. You go ahead and use that here. That AoE nature Dynasmon will be great here, sort of. So if any of you accidentally did that, don't feel bad. There's a place for everything in this game. Aside from that, another AoE Digimon that I'm expecting to see is Lord Nightmon. Lord Nightmon AoE, while she's a lot less popular than her sister Lord Nightmon's single target, she still clears Bright Waves very well. I think for those of you who have Belphemon, I know that a lot of you guys have Belphemon, you can mode change back to sleep mode and maybe do dark AoE damage, although it's quite arguable that it will be better left as rage mode. So that's up to you, depending on what your team needs. If you're doing long runs, if you need that AoE clearing, you can change it to sleep mode. Like, you know, if you guys have a team of 3 Belphemon, maybe one of those Belphemon can be sleep mode and can do AoE. Another kind of unpopular, sort of fringe choice, Imperial Dramon Fighter mode can be changed back into Imperial Dramon Dragon mode if you have the +4 of him from the previous event, and you guys can do the Mega Death move. Imperial Dramon Dragon mode is an interesting choice because he is very bulky defensively, and he does have a dark AoE, so that might be able to, yeah, there you go. So that might be able to help you guys clear waves. Talking a little bit more about the other Digimon that you guys have available. For dark types, you have Kazuhamon, there's Lilithmon, there's, of course, Belphemon I mentioned earlier, Beelzemon, Barbamon, and ShineGreymon. There might be a few more that I missed, but for the nature types, I know a lot of you are really hyped that Titamon is going to get a second event to participate in a row, just like Kazuhamon, so that's kind of cool. Maybe those Megas, if you guys pulled for them in the previous banner, maybe they weren't just one-trick ponies. I don't know. Maybe that was done intentionally, maybe it wasn't. But aside from Titamon, we also have Puppetmon, if you pulled him from a previous banner. While he's not too common, Platinum Numon is fairly tanky and does deal neutral damage. I mean, not neutral damage, does nature damage. Grand Kuwagamon deals nature damage. Locomon from the previous event, be it the AoE or the single target version, deals nature damage. And if you were one of those really lucky people to get Ulforce V Dramon in either, you know, +2 or higher, I know there's some +4s running around out there. Ulforce V Dramon does have a dual hit nature move that could be useful for this event as well. So those are the Digimon that I would recommend. I don't know if there are any more that I have missed. Of course, there are neutral or null damage Digimon. There's like your Metalgurumon Black, your what's his name, Boltmon. There's also Dynasmon. These Digimon should still deal neutral damage to the boss, and will never be bad in any case. When forming parties in the event co-op room, please be mindful of your damage type. When you post your room number, please do post what damage type you are. That could help people in forming parties. And that way you don't wind up forming a party of 3 people that, again, needs to be carried, or with only one strong enough to fill the appropriate role. If after this pre-event pep talk, you again are still unsure if you should be participating in the event, you know, go ahead and play through it without a chip for the first day or so. If you're feeling like you're getting somewhere, or you want to get somewhere, you know, after tasting it and after really thinking about it, you know, you again have 2 weeks to make this decision. Of course, I recommend coming to the decision sooner than later, but it's nothing like a previous event where it's a points event and you need to hit the ground running. Let's see here. What else do I have? You know what? I think that's quite all that I have on my end of the notes. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and the first questions I take will be the ones in my direct messages. So I'm going to go ahead and read through those right now and see if there's any that maybe haven't been answered through the video. I mean, not video, through the voice chat. So just give me a moment. I have maybe about 15 or so questions to flip through here. Okay, so Prince is asking what we should bring for the event. I think I covered that pretty well. Again, it's a little bit too soon for me to speak on who you should bring for the event coming after this one, because we don't know if it's ShineGreymon Burst Mode, ShineGreymon Ruin Mode, or Omegamon Zwart D. I think it's unlikely there will be Omegamon Zwart D. ShineGreymon Ruin Mode's data or character model is allegedly not even in the game. Although one might argue that he's just a color swap, so maybe they'll just scan in a color swap or something. I don't know how that works. So it'll likely be Omegamon, or not Omegamon, ShineGreymon Burst Mode. But because I'm unsure, I can't tell you who to bring for the next or upcoming event. Let me see. Take a few more questions here. Someone's asking if for the second week it will be likely that we have ShineGreymon Burst Mode, since Omegamon Zwart D needs Mirage Galgamon fragments for it. That again is my biggest reason for thinking that we won't be getting Omegamon Zwart D. Not that I don't want him to show up. I think he's a cool guy. Papa DG Gamer definitely likes him as well, so that would be cool. And I think he may be whispered about possibly getting 3. Not that I'm trying to throw that pressure on there, but if you ever do get 3 of any Digimon, even if it's 3 Prince Mamamon, I want to see that PvP video. I will love it. I'll make multiple accounts and like it. I'm just kidding. I'm not that kind of guy. But that would be a really fun video to watch. Let's see. What else is Ragnarok asking? Major accuracy. He's asking a question that's maybe not pertained to this event, so I'm going to go ahead and answer it in my DMs. I'm just going to make a note of it now. Pins. All right. Let's see here. I'm doing my best to answer these in the order that I receive them, but I might be going out of the order. Sir Magna is asking if this event is worth to play or pull chips on. I think we covered it pretty decently in what we said before. If you're a new player, play this event. You must. I'll shun you if not. I'm just kidding. I won't shun you if not. I'll just be really deeply hurt and quite a bit disappointed. I'll still be there for you, of course, and give you all the love and support I normally would. But really, for newer players, don't miss this event. For more advanced players, I think it's optional. And if you aren't interested in either ShineGreymon Burst Mode or ShineGreymon Ruin Mode, I think it's worth waiting to see what the next event is. You guys might have 2 weeks off. Who knows? And in that time, you can use it to play Hacker's Memory. No, you can use that time to to work on other Digimon, maybe finish up your Dynasmon, organize your farm a little bit. Farm fuel. It seems like we hardly have time to farm fuel. This can be good for everyone. It can globally be good for everyone. The other thing that Sir Magna wants to know is if I know the way. And, I'm unsure if I know the way. But, I've heard that sometimes I know a way. And I guess that's good enough for me. It's been working out. Sans is saying that they have a +4 Angemon. And they're asking if they should wait for Lord Nightmon to come back or go for this event. That's really tough. If you got that +4 Angemon in a machine capture, I wouldn't feel too bad making it into like a 21 fragmented +4 ShineGreymon and then reverting it later when Lord Nightmon or someone else comes around. I don't think ShineGreymon's someone that you're going to feel terrible about not having on your roster. Just because the Digimon is +4 doesn't mean it can't be turned back into an egg. It'll just become, again, another +4 egg. So that's my take on that. Metal Stormer is saying that you guys should stop lying to yourselves because we all know that you guys love the Digimon links and you can't keep yourselves away. You know you're gonna grab a chip anyway and farm the event. And I know that there are a lot of diehards, and quite frankly, some of us might get bored not playing the event. We might not grind our nose for the event, but even if it's not the most popular Digimon, I think we'll still all, well, many of us will participate. Do we already know what other Digimon will be available in the event? Kaylee's is asking if we already know what other Digimon will be available in the event for exchange. Unfortunately, Kaylee's, the Digimon currently, with what information I have, the only Digimon that will be available in the event is ShineGreymon. I do have a secret hope in my heart that maybe secretly, maybe they'll show they'll show Mirage Galgamon in as an exchange for bytes. And if that happens, all shenanigans is gonna break loose, and we'll know that Omegamon's War D is coming. If that doesn't happen, which I think it won't, we're probably just having a regular ShineGreymon Bytes event, much in the same vein as the Gallantmon Bytes event, where it was 2 weeks long and allowed you to collect a lot of bytes for it. Before I get back to the chat, I'm going to go ahead and read at DG Gamer's comment. DG Gamer is asking me to remind you guys about a... I'm trying to think about how to word this properly. There is a 1K a week. Let me see here. DG Gamer, are you in chat? Can you go ahead and thumb up if you're in chat? I don't want to botch this. Okay, perfect. DG Gamer, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to come off mute if you have a mic, and then go ahead and do your plug for that, because I don't want to ruin it.
Alright, can you hear me?
Yep, we're good.
Alright, so everybody knows that if you buy from the vendor, or you guys should know this, if you buy from the vendor from now on, I made a new deal with him, so every time you guys buy from the vendor within the time elapsed in that week, and from now on, it's going to be Wednesdays until we find, like, a better time. I was thinking maybe Mint could do it every prep talk, cool. But we don't know what days we're going to pick, so right now it's going to look like every Wednesday until we finalize a day. But every time you guys buy within that week, you have the opportunity to get a ticket, so you'll get that ticket, and at that week, I pick all the names, and then I'll put you guys in a random generator, and we're going to pick one person to get 1,000 stones for free. That's just an added bonus from buying from the vendor. I wanted to get more stones for you guys, and he agreed to it. So I think we had 3 last week we picked because we had a bunch of orders. So every week, I made an agreement with him with a number. If we hit those many orders, you're going to get 1K regardless. Even if it's one person to order that week, that one person is going to get 1,000 stones, or the 980, whatever the price is. So every week we're going to be doing that, and the more orders we get, the more stones you get. So last week we picked 3, and I think only 2 people messaged me. So we do a lot here. I'm not going to chase you guys for your free stones. You guys have to chase me. So like,
this man is so generous. Don't pass this up, you guys.
Well, we make a lot of money for the vendor. Like, let's not kid ourselves. We make a lot of money for this guy. So every time I see the money, because I'm the middleman, so I see all the money you guys are paying for this guy. So when I get the opportunity, like the new bonus for customers, the loyal bonus, I'm trying to get more stones for you guys. So we're going to give you the 1,000 for sure every week. It's the 980, whatever. 1,000 every week. And then if we get more orders, like last week we had so many orders. And you guys could tell because the lines are long and people are like complaining. But so if we get a lot of orders, we're going to give up 3, 2, well, it'll change every week. So I only had 2 people message me, I think, or maybe even 1 person messaged me that won. So I'm not chasing you guys to give you free stuff. You guys need to be aware of it. And it's going to be posted in the server news. So I think Metal is going to be the one posting it every week, or either Metal or Mint, not me. So make sure you pay attention to Metal, because, he is the boss of the Discord. Like, I'm not here all the time. He's the number one, or she, or he, she, whatever we're calling him these days. If he's the boss, so or she's the boss, whatever day he's going on that day. So he'll post it, or Mint will do it during these prep talks. We just don't know yet. So every Wednesday, make sure you check the server news, because it really pains my heart that I worked hard to get these stones for you guys, and people didn't message me. So I'm not going out of my way to message you guys. I'm busy enough with like videos, school, studying, DMs, all that stuff. So I'll give it back to you, Mint. I just wanted to get that out there so people don't like miss out on the opportunity.
Thanks so much, DG Gamer. I think that's a really valid point. And wow, I didn't know that only 2 people messaged him. I feel a little bit awkward. I think I got stones this past week and I didn't message him, so shame on me. But again, on that note, I'd really rather someone who does need it get it. And I know a lot of you guys really do need it. I think that about wraps it up for our PEPT, our pre-event pep talk. thank you so much, everyone who came. I really love the support you guys are showing. If you are joining me late or would like to hear everything again later, I'm going to go ahead and post this to a YouTube channel. And still figuring out if I can post that link here or not. But you guys can always ask me for it. Go ahead and if you can find that video and just throw like, I don't know, a comment or something, a like. I don't know if you want to subscribe, you can. But I kind of look at that and see the feedback from that, and that judges whether I'm doing a good job or not. And if you guys want me to add something, that's a great place to put it, because YouTube has a great way for me to check that. Of course, otherwise, you can always message me in my messages here. But again, glad to bring this to you guys, and thank you so much, DG Gamer, for sharing that with us about the stones. And again, to everyone who showed up, thank you guys so much. I love you.